Evening all, how are we doing? Welcome to a random Saturday stream. Well, not a terribly surprising or random one really when you think about it. But still, non-standard. Just munching a cookie there. You know, needs must. How's everyone doing? Hope you're having a good weekend. So I've kind of been twiddling my thumbs a bit today, wondering what the hell to do, knowing that basically all I really wanted to do was play Atomfall. So here we are. Which is one of the two major reasons I tend to stream on a weekend. The other one being, you know, time constraints, so I need to get something done. I need to make some headway. But this is more of a, I really want to play Atomfall thing. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Otherwise, we'll have to wait until Thursday, really, and it's all well and good, but it feels like a very long wait. You just spend some time cleaning my glasses more than just the lenses. The frames could do with a bit of a wash. Oh well. Anyway, hope everybody's having a good weekend. Put my shirt back in. I have cookies. Oh, I have a cookie. I've eaten the other one, so we are no longer in the plural territory. But I have a cookie left. And I have beer on the other side, so it's going to be a chilled out weekend stream with beer instead of juice. So, yeah, brace yourself, I guess, or something. Right. Evening, Cal. How are we doing? Let's rock and roll. Where are you? It's quite a small black icon, the Atomfall icon on the desktop, and it's on a darker patch of my background. I've got a Celesta 2 wallpaper on there at the moment. Just not yet come out. I enjoy playing the demo during Steam Next Fest. There's a kitty scratch on the back of my hand that is pretty much healed, but there's one tiny little bit of skin that's sticking out. It keeps catching on the mouse pad. So, yeah, we dived into... dived? What? Words, English, things. Dived into Wyndham Village last time, having found the interchange, and it's all shut down. It's a big underground complex that we need to power up. So we got into Wyndham Village and had a look around there, and there's some soldiers who are calling themselves Protocol, who seem to have been abandoned here and have taken over the village and placed it under... Well, I'd say martial law, except I'm not quite sure they actually do act with any kind of authority other than having bigger sticks at the moment. Either way, they seem like a bunch of dicks, so I'm not really friendly with them. Or I'm not that I'm picking a fight, they are very, very well armed dicks, but still. There also seems to be some other stuff going on. We found a murder had taken place in the church. There was somebody dead up against the altar, and the vicar seemed keen to cover this up, as did the person who was in there with him. We had a poke around the village, and apparently, according to Captain Sims, I think it was, the head of the local protocol people, the soldiers, seemed to think that the baker was up to no good. But we found in the cellar of an abandoned brewery a meeting place for druids and people trying to recruit for the druids. It turns out that the shopkeeper, whose name was Morris, I believe, has been in league with the druids and helping people sneak off to join the druids and stuff, whilst it seems he was about to get found out, and he may or may not have been behind this murder.
Strangers may be dangers. If you encounter anyone who is unfamiliar to you, report their presence as soon as possible to the controlling authority.
Yeah, a lot of dodginess going on. So, let's have a look at some of our... I've got a key item somewhere, apparently. June's key, yeah, I've already used that. And we've got... What's that? The protocol outpost is marked here, which is now actually marked on the map because I walked into it, got yelled at for going there. The boathouse we found. And over here is a hotel, which I think we need to check out, actually, if we're going to continue this murder investigation. Played Aska earlier. Not sure what that is, actually, Carl. Although there was something I was going to look up, maybe. Oh, actually, maybe it was just something that I wasn't into. Yeah, there's a few things I need to review as regards to things that are coming up fairly soon, I think. Right, yeah. So, investigation. So, get to church. Kill the one they call Maisie. There we go. So, bloody note. Supposedly resolved. Going to spotted some. She said that she spotted some possible foul play and was going to camp out at the ruined cottage by the hotel. Church may or may not be haunted. We found Morris Wick. There we go. Instructed to kill Maisie on behalf of the Druids, judging by this return her to the soil thing. So we're going to have to investigate that a little bit. But I think the first thing I want to do before I do that is make my way down here and investigate the Meaview Hotel. And there's a cottage overlooking it. So we'll head down here and then hang a left when we can. And hopefully we'll... Yeah, and hopefully we'll find out a little bit more information about what was going on there. And then we'll start investigating Morris a bit more directly. So Hell Woods, the keep, is this the... Yep, that's the one. Garland Keep will probably be this castle I heard rumoured. Gun oil? Don't mind me. So we had a shufty around here, and I think we got about this far, didn't we? And hell yeah! Some good guns and stuff there. Well, I think the thing to do is going to be... Actually, no, I want that. This is not at all where I want it. I want that on 3, I think. Yeah. That makes more sense. I will probably want to go and sell, probably to Morris, the axe, because I don't think he's interested in cricket bats. I'll sell the axe and I'll come back and grab the gun that's hiding down here and something else, see if he's got anything else worth buying. My inventory's looking very full, so I just want to get rid of the tea as well. We'll buy that. I could also do with investigating the baker and finding out what's going on there. And I was kind of thinking if I'm going to seek help from a faction at some stage, assuming that's the thing that I'm doing, which faction would it be? And so far we've heard about the soldiers and the druids and the outlaws, and none of them are particularly appealing right now. In honour and remembrance of the brave men of Wyndham who gave their lives in the Great War, 1914 to 1918, they sacrificed so that we might live in peace. Very, very standard English war memorial, that one. So, very convincing. Evening all, how's it going? Extra stream, yeah. As I said just before, there tends to be 2 categories for extra streams. Either not enough time, which is not the case today, or I really want to play this game, which is the case today. I've been kind of twiddling my thumbs waiting to play this all day, not really knowing what I wanted to do with myself, other than play this, so here we are.
Again.
I could ask a bunch of questions, but I'm not going to do that right now. First, let's see if he's got anything I would actually like to buy. I don't really want that. It doesn't have much that I want, to be honest. I mean, the grenade's not unappealing. Let's have the painkiller crafting recipe on there. I don't have enough space in here. Oh. I don't really want those. What can I give him? The grenade moved things a little further, but not far enough.
Oh.
Not really interested in bandages. We want to sell medical kits. I'd rather keep that. So he still values that more highly than what I currently have available. This is troubling. So I do want to sell some of this stuff, but he's not interested in it. Don't know if there's anybody else around here who would be interested in buying any of this. Probably not. Don't really have anything valuable to sell. I could sell the cricket bat. You know, let's see if I can sell the cricket bat as well.
Not too interested in those.
No, there's one outside anyway I could have gone on and got, which is why I was happy to sell it to him. I don't really want to sell the grenades. Definitely don't want to sell any of my other weapons because they're good. I guess I chuck the grenades in there. Still too heavily in my favour, allegedly. So he values the medical stuff slightly more highly than the crafting recipe, apparently. Honestly, I'm kind of tempted to get rid of the shotgun. Just because I'd like to have a slot for on my quick stuff to let's test things out actually on this point. Could I, if I wanted to, no, it doesn't look like I can. I was looking to see if I was a quick key for an option to put the meds onto my hotkeys, but it doesn't seem to be a thing right now. Which begs the question, is there something that will allow me to heal a bit more quickly? Doesn't look like there is there. No, it looks like I have to open up my inventory in order to heal, which is not ideal. Hopefully they'll do something about that fairly sharpish. Because I'm not really a fan of that. Oh well. Clocks go forward at 1 AM, don't they? Yeah, how we doing, Steve? Go back a day instead of an hour. Oh, I'm with you. Yeah, no, afraid not. Alright, so if I were to chuck those in there, what if I were to try and buy a grenade off him then? Not really that much that I'm happy to get rid of. I'm going to get rid of the shotgun because, to be honest, the pistol and the rifle are more appealing. And then I'll have a melee weapon as well, which is going to be good. And yeah, from what I understand, bows are going to become a thing soon. And that will give me a sneaky stealth option. So all in all, something's going to have to drop, and I think it's going to be the shotgun. Because, I mean, the shotgun's not bad in emergency up close, but I try and keep out of those situations as much as possible. That's way too heavy in his favour, so if I take that off, put that in there. He would want more. Okay. Seems a little unreasonable. Still seems a little unreasonable. I'll give him a grenade as well. Stingy bastard. You know what, honestly, that's a whole thing. I can't trade for anything I want there, really. How we doing, Wayne? Yeah, he doesn't have anything I want, really. I mean, he does a few things I kind of sort of want, but not that much.
Citizens of Wyndham, you are reminded that any building marked as sterilized...
So I think we'll head outside and go and find Molly, because I think she's the only other person I can trade with at the minute. There might be somebody else in Wyndham I can't... Well, there's the baker, but all she has is, you know, foodstuffs. And I don't really want any of those at the moment. Oh, before I leave, though, I learnt a thing today. It's quite cool. Teapots. I've used that one, so I can't use it again, apparently. Teapots scattered around the village. If you use them and pour yourself a cup of tea, it fully heals your health. But not much point in using it if I don't know if that one will recharge when I come back in, maybe. But for right now, I've used that one. Presumably got hurt somewhere. I don't know how. Oh yeah, the rats, wasn't it? But I wasn't quite sure what it did, if anything. It turns out what it does is restore my health.
Citizens of Wyndham, the army is here to help and protect you. Trust us and help us to help you.
This bit feels a bit more realistic as regards a country village. Can I find something?
Just let us have a crack at the outlaws around here. We could get rid of them and take their supplies. 2 birds, 1 bullet.
I did kind of feel like there was something around here that I left over. So we'll nip out, go and talk to Molly, and see if she's got anything I want.
Citizens of Wyndham, there has been an increase in outlaw activity on Slattern Dale. Avoid Slattern Dale until the area is once again declared safe. You are leaving Wyndham, and the quarantine protocol is no longer responsible for your safety. The area you are entering is known to contain outlaws
That voice is
and monstrosities.
that voice is something, isn't it? So there's the sewer grate. Stop the pests by destroying the nests. Okay, I'll have to keep an eye out for what those are. So that goes for rats and things like that. I did notice something for bees and stuff, but didn't really have the... wasn't at the time in a position to do anything about it.
Hello again.
So, she's got a revolver that I don't want, bunch of ammo. Bow mastery skills, that'd be nice. Stick my neck out and guess that she wants more than just a bit of tea. That's not impressing her very much. There's that. She likes Molotovs, but she's not really that interested in grenades. Why does she like Molotovs so much? Is she a pyromaniac? Guessing she must be. She's not even that interested in a good shotgun. That's weird. Still need a bit more. Jeez. I want to give it all my shotgun shells. Take a grenade back. Would that be okay? Not quite.
Whoa, now that's nice.
She likes rifle ammo, huh? Interesting. Rifle ammo and...
Very good.
Rifle ammo and Molotovs. Interesting. Don't really want to sacrifice too much rifle ammo. That would be useful, I think.
Nice trading with you.
So, unlocks a bunch of bow-related skills. Bow focus, which a shift to slow time when bow is fully drawn. Not terrible. Heart rate no longer has an impact on draw duration for bows. Nice. And increases bow draw speed. Ah, a few potentially useful things there.
You need anything, Molly will be here.
Plus side, that means my inventory is freed up a little bit of space. So, I did have to get rid of a decent shotgun, which is a bit sad, but I don't think I'll be using a vast amount of shotguns anyway, going forward.
Citizens of Wyndham, remember, strangers may be dangers. If you encounter...
Yeah, on the one hand, strangers are the only people they let in. On the other hand, he's saying strangers may be dangers. Bounties paid on confirmed outlaw captures or killings, except that doesn't seem to be a thing. I do feel like they've tried a lot of cool stuff in this game, but haven't quite gotten everything to come together yet. Like things like bounties and stuff like that. I'd like to see it do really well so they can follow up with another game that builds on that sort of thing even more. The systems and stuff. I don't know that Rebellion has the resources per se to massively go for really big on a game like this. It's a really cool concept, but some people were like quite happy with the length of it, but I would definitely like to see more in a way. I think there's untapped opportunities, I suppose is what I'm getting at. Why would there be a gate here? I can get through. Not too shabby. That sort of connects back here. Interesting. Those mushrooms are a resource. They are not. I've just got a little bit of a weird open area out back.
Better than nothing, mind.
Here's the thing, the dialogue is right. No, the subtitles are right. The accent's not. Bit annoying. It is to me, anyway. I don't know what's going on there, but I do want to kind of figure out if that's a thing worth investigating. Up here.
Outlaws slipping around the village perimeter again. We should deal with those scum once and for all.
No.
Addressing civilian. Stand back, citizen.
There we go. So I don't need to equip a second one. I definitely do want one. I need to go and get another cricket bat, really, don't I? No, I don't, because I've got a better weapon than that anyway that's high damage and fast attack speed instead of a slow one, so that's actually better. Don't need a cricket bat either. So, yeah. Yeah, interesting. And then I can leave the fourth one open, ready for putting a bow in when I get the chance. Cool. So, I wanted to have a look around the passage in the hotel down here, but I did also see a highly interesting structure up here. I don't want to go and investigate because it looked like there was a busted robot up there. Well, apparently I shouldn't be in here. I don't see why I'd want to be either, so let's make a quiet exit. I mean, keeping their signs clean is going to make them think that you're on their side, I suppose. Oh, here we go. I would go in here, but I'm really not sure if that's going to aggro people. It's a reference I've not heard in years. Shit. Right. I'm not trespassing. Nice.
Keep your nose clean.
You're like my mother. Looks to be where they're repairing the bots, I guess. Bandage. Thought I might get into a spot of bother for her coming up there, but apparently not. But I also didn't find anything worthwhile, which is a bit disappointing. What can you do?
Join the army to see the world and get some action. Well, that worked out brilliantly, didn't it?
This is part of the world. More action than you wanted, I guess, but...
Make do amend this, make do amend that. I just want to buy something for once.
Okay, Gene. Oh. Your work is vital, it's also secret. Box clever, keep mum. Maybe a time period related thing, because... Danger, leeches. So yeah, it's definitely not a bit of regional dialect, that. I go out on a limb, I guess it's in there. It's decided like somewhere I'm not allowed to be. Molotov recipe, which I may have already had. I already have learnt it. Okay, well I can sell that. It's going to be worth a lot. I bet Molly will like it a lot. We'd probably be willing to buy it, spend quite a lot of money on that. Note back there? I don't see a note. Yeah. It's probably what I want, actually. Yeah, it is where I want to be. I'd have come back and found that in a minute. Right. Technically resolved. Maisie, it's been too quiet late. Something going on. Keep your eyes open for me as usual. If you spot one of them acting off, bring it to me, Reverend McHenry. McHenry, rather. Note scribble in a different hand. Note size recent movements. Past me via hotel, cross stream and turn right, heading uphill. Turn right again. Up narrows behind steps. Went round back of ruins and entered rat infested cellar. What are you up to? Aye, right, okay, if we put that together and then kill the one called Maisie, we've got Morris Wick. Because, what was it? Past the hotel, crossed stream, turned right, heading uphill. Turned right again, up narrow steps. So this is the hotel. Looks very, very cool, by the way. From a design standpoint, rather more than a actual coolness standpoint, I suppose. Picturesque might be another good word for it.
Leave tomorrow if we could. Beer at the pub tastes like sheep dip.
So, crossed stream. Turned right, heading uphill. Turned right and went up some steps. Guessing that we're rat's nest. Not being able to cancel that, not acceptable. Got quite a lot of them of that squash. Alright. It's a question, are there any more nests around? I'm guessing there are. Probably in here. Somewhere around here. There's one. Must be at least one more out there. At least one more nest. I'm below the point where it is. There's one. There's another. Tempted to blow that up, but I think I might attract the wrong kind of trouble there. Ooh, there's a tent there. Be another nest somewhere that I've not found. There's one. Okay. Still some more, I think. But this may not be worth it. The numbers are declining though, which is good to know. That's a question. Where's this last nest then? They're like not in the buildings, which is all well and good, but doesn't make a lot of sense. I've seen them running in here, but I'm also thinking I don't really want to risk blowing that barrel up. So I think I do. Just going to be to hop on and see what's down there. Have I already found this? No, I don't think so. That's interesting because how's my health looking? You know what? I'll leave that as is. We'll leg it. We now have fairly solid, well, more extensive in the basement. I doubt it. It's a different load zone. I don't need to go down there again anyway right now. But yeah, we've found out that it looks more and more like the shopkeeper Morris, who was working with the druids, found out Molly was spying on him for the vicar, and was instructed to, or somebody who knew him found out that he was being spied on by Molly, and instructed him to offer, which he did in the church, presumably when she was waiting to report to the vicar.
Likely thinks me dead.
Citizens of Wyndham, there has been an increase in outlaw activity on Slattern Dale. Avoid Slattern Dale and
So I'm going to get some more health first.
declared safe.
I do believe there are more teapots kicking around.
Not sure about you.
Well, apparently not, but
Not sure I like the look.
I don't know why I bother.
Citizens of
aha! That'll
Just
do.
there.
are still off limits. If you need to approach the woods for foraging,
Should heal me. Nice, it has done. You didn't take it, you alright? So, now I've got my health back. Let's see if we can't sneak into the back of Wyndham Hardware. Which I think I was about to break into the wrong building, to be honest. No, maybe it wasn't.
citizens of Wyndham, we cannot guarantee your safety beyond the village palings. Do you have a good reason to leave the village?
Can't get in there without a key. Okay. Presumably not going to get... Unless I bonk somebody on the head. Oh dear.
Addressing civilian. Stand back, citizen.
I've got a better idea, bitch. Get out of my way.
Leave tomorrow
One
if
day,
you could.
I'll leave here, get through
I
the
think you
door.
just turned around and walked back again, dickhead.
Don't know how yet, but one day.
Not sure how, but somehow a robot is a dickhead. So I can accost him. I'm assuming if I just try and sneak into the back of his place, this is not going to go well. I walked in there and got yelled at. Not by him, though. Oh, not marked as trespassing, so okay. Now I am. Rubbish they transmit. Alright, don't bother trying to build that crystal set. If the army boys strutting on the verge wasn't enough, you'll end up hearing the rubbish they transmit inside the zone. It sets morale, but it's tantamount to torture. My god, but I missed the BBC Light programme. I wish I was joking about this, but they transmit their own version of Dick Barton Special Agent, except that it's called Jack Logan. And it's the worst thing to trouble the airwaves since Lord Haw-Haw. Harry. Okay. He hasn't just left anything lying around. Yay. So the situation we find ourselves in.
Hello again.
Firstly, I'd like to trade. He's not that interested in that, is he? Does he have much that I'd like? Only meds, really. Not interested in the painkillers. Grenades, not that much, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think he has anything I want right now. So we know he killed the church. We know that he killed Maisie at the church. And we know he's working for the Druids. Decisions. So what have we got? That's not massively interesting. Reference to the actual Windscale disaster. Murder in the church, okay. Wandered in the scene of a recent murder in Wyndham Village's church. Vicar standing by a corpse or other urgently asked me to leave. Asked for silence. Don't mention it to protocol as he fears it'll come down on him and the rest of the village. Okay. The vicar spies discovered your purpose. Captain means only to bring pain to the soul and its children. Must stay hidden. Silence Maisie. So we know he killed her. I'm not a fan of him or the Druids, really. Based on what little I know, they seem to be rather bananas. I do like the solution that Rebellion have come up with for being able to see outside of the shop, but also sort of managing amount of stuff they have to load. You can sort of vaguely see a blurry painting of it beyond the windows, but it's not really there. It kind of gets you just about enough of the illusion without requiring too much intensity of work from the hardware. Cool. Yeah. There we go, yeah. Making headway in Wyndham. Protocol imposes harder restrictions. Wears villages down. Worse to get. More people are going to listen. Film of the purpose. The voice in the soil. Captain Brands is corrupt and pagan. I hold the purpose safe and secret. He then is the captain, doesn't suspect a thing. To him, I'm just a humble shopkeeper. Thank you for your guidance. Look forward to the day I can join you and hear the voice of myself. So Morris is assisting the Druids, yeah. And I want to know what's too quite like you. Keep your eyes open for me. If anyone's acting off, bring it to me. I feel like he's spying for the captain, but at the same time, I want to know more about the vicar's motivations. I mean, you'd think he would not be a fan of the Druids because they're Druids, and he's a village priest, but he's also not a fan of soldiers, let's see. Oh, incidentally, one for you, Steve. You notice what he's carrying? Yep, I thought you might recognise that. It's a rather rusty one, but nonetheless. And you can acquire them. I have seen footage of a player using one. You can also get the... What was the gun that's related to the SA-80, but isn't, and has that big wooden undergrip to it. There's really there's a lot of wood under there. It's got that very distinctive kind of ridged, thick bit to get hold of. It was developed as part of the similar development process to the SA-80, but didn't go into production, or just before it or something. Those are in the game as well, which I think is maybe a little bit more anachronistic. Maybe. I don't know what the development timeline for most of this stuff looks like. So the body's gone. The blood isn't.
Ah, it's you.
Found some amazing notes. Was she working for you? Found a list that ties Morris Wick to the murder. Found some amazing notes. Was she working for you?
You did? I see. Well, yes, it's true. She ran errands for me from time to time. I asked her to keep an eye on certain people. She has
Morris Wick
had quite a talent for it. But I had no reason to kill her. You must believe me.
Sorry, my foot's itching. Hang on. Yeah. You need to explain yourself. Had enough. Relax. Be honest with me, and I'll be able to catch that killer.
I have a certain arrangement of sorts with some of the
That doesn't sound sus at all, does it?
In a world as terrible as this, with evil in the soil and a military boot on their necks, who can blame those who turn to the church for protection? I offer what I can, in return for a small donation to the church. But it is necessary for me to keep some eyes on them as well. In case they waver, there is a lot of temptation within the zone, and temptation too easily leads to corruption.
So it keeps an eye on some people. It's a very, very famous design. You'd know exactly what it was talking about if you saw it, Steve. But yeah, it definitely didn't go into service. Yeah, I think it was present in Fallout London as well, but I didn't get one. Didn't get that far. How many of those people killed her? Why not tell me this before? Why not tell me this before? Yeah, let's try that one.
This is a village matter. I can provide assistance to an outsider such as yourself, but that does not mean I can trust you. Farewell, and God bless you.
Do we get any notes regarding that conversation? No. Decisions. I kind of wish I paid slightly more attention to what he said there. I missed something.
Ah, it's you.
Anything down in the crypt? Apparently there have been strange noises. Let's try it.
Oh, Lord, not you as well. Listen, the pressure of living in these walls, it can cause one's mind to play tricks. But I assure you there are no ghosts here. No one has been inside the cellar since the disaster. The key was lost along with the scientists, God rest their souls. Perhaps you should get some rest, I'd like to avoid any ghostly rumors being spread about the place.
So, something about the key disappearing with scientists.
Oh, God bless you.
So, you want to keep people safe in exchange for donations to his church. At the same time as spying on people. Yeah, that's way too much information, Wayne. Definitely don't need that kind of hint. Way over the line. Yeah. I don't know. His motives are dodgy. At the very least, overly self-serving. I don't like Morris's either. I do want to stand on here so I can read the front of the book a bit better, though. Uncertainty principle. Interesting. Memorial plaques. How's it going, MB? But I caught a lot of what he was saying anyway. He's up to something. I can't imagine he has much in... I think I did read that already, didn't I? Fluff. I can't imagine he would have much to do with the druids. EM2, that might be the one. Let's have a look. I'll Google it. Hang on. That's the one, EM2. Yeah. I knew it wasn't the, what was the other one you listed? XL60. That's too interesting a number for me to forget. I mean, there's a lot of different spins on paganism, though, anyway, so what angle they're taking is still pretty vague, because we've not actually met any druids yet, so... It seems to have some connection to the soil and a voice within the soil and a purpose. But that's all we got. And the fact that Morris, who apparently wants to join them in the woods, has committed a murder and is trying to help people like leave the village and join them. I'd like to find out some more information about the vicar, but can't figure out what his game is, because I don't really trust his assertions. Like, I don't think he is... I mean, he may run off and tell the captain straight away about it. I don't know that I want to leave Morris engaging in such activities, though. Yeah, well... Usually pagans end up being polytheistic, but... I wouldn't be surprised if there's an exception to that. It's, or rather, it's not a required characteristic.
Hello again.
I'd like to get that off him if I can. I haven't got the space for it. I know that's worth at least a chunk to him, which is interesting. That'd do it. Well, this is the only thing I really want. I don't really want it that much off him anyway, but it's the only thing that I am concerned that I might lose the opportunity to get that if I don't trade for it.
Thank you for your business.
So now, what those do? Damage resistance buff. That's actually not the worst thing ever. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know too much about Celtic religious beliefs, to be honest. Or practices that modern druids engage in either.
Hello again.
But yeah, from what I've gathered so far, they seem to be responding to some influence of some kind. Whether or not that's it's a draw's bone. Whether or not that's a real thing or an imagined thing or somebody just trying to manipulate people, I don't know. I found this letter of yours. Care to explain? I'm curious to see what he has to say for himself.
How did... Well, been poking around in what's not your concern, eh? I don't have to explain myself to you. It's none of your bloody business.
Police must be important if you're trying to hide them. Can you tell me what this is? I'll take it to the authorities. I don't brush it. Yes, go on.
Beliefs? They're the truth.
What's
Can't you
that?
see what's going on here? The protocol soldiers, the church, all carrying on like they know all the answers, when the truth is they know nought. Everyone says the folk in the woods are cracked, but they look like the only sane ones around here to me. They're trying to
Yeah, I
make
think you're all
peace
a
with
bit
the
nuts, to
world,
be honest.
not ruin it. Them scientists, the disaster, that weren't natural, their nose. Upset the balance of things. Nature's proper furious with us. We should make amends, shouldn't we? It's only right. But them soldiers would have me locked up for thinking that. Dangerous pagan sentiments, that arse of a captain calls it.
Yeah, he is an arse. On the other hand, you do appear to have committed a murder of somebody who was following you, and that would also be a dangerous thing. I don't personally think he's right, but tell me more about these druids.
If you've seen them out in Casterfell Woods, I know they might come across as proper nasty. But look, they say the earth speaks to them, and they listen. Now, folk have been saying there's a voice in the earth around here since the year dot. These druids, or whatever you want to call them, they say that's true. So, mayhap we should be listening to it too, eh?
Seems like a very local sort of folklore thing that people are embracing rather wholeheartedly. What are your intentions then?
I want what's best for village. We
That
should
I'm
be
not so
looking
sure
back
about.
to what's always been here. The army here tried to stamp it out, but their captain's a bloody southerner. What does he know about the north? Well, but maybe
Fair
you're
point.
a tattletale for the vicar too, eh? Prying for secrets so he can hold 'em over me. Well, I won't stand for people who stick their beaks in where they're not wanted.
Don't get clever with me. I had nothing to do with the vicar. Vicar was spying on you. Let's see what he has to say.
My socks are holier than his. We give our donations to the church, and in return he keeps the protocols sweet. Or so he says. Truth is, he worms his way into people's lives, finds out about matters that won't sit well with soldiers, and holds them over us. Blackmail it is. Pure and simple. Look, whoever you are, wherever you hail from, don't snitch on us about that letter, eh? The village needs the shop. It needs me. What I think should be me own business, shouldn't it? I'm not harming no one.
Except that it seems you have done.
Eh?
Let's attach it to Maisie in the church, you killed her. Yeah, I'm gonna be a bit more accusatory here.
Shut your bloody trap before you bring every nosy bastard in here. All right, look, just hear me out, eh? See, we're a rotten one, that un. Tattling folk out to the vicar so he can load it over us. She never had out on me, not till last night when she found that letter. Then she carried on like I'd thrown in me lot were old Hitler or summat. Called me a traitor, like I ever had any loyalty to the protocol lot. I'm no killer, not born to it, but she were poison, that un, and so is vicar. Summat had to be done.
Can't justify murder. Well, not that way, no. Perhaps you're right about the vicar being the real menace here. Protocol would have killed you, have you killed if they learned of your beliefs. Thing is, his claims don't seem to be any more credible than the vicar's. Like, they're not convinced of the vicar's kind of keeping people safe at all. I'm not convinced he's... No, I'm not... I don't know what to do about this. It's still so vague. I don't really want to turn him in. Good thing I was going to watch it saves. Yeah, I quick saved as well. Well, he didn't say that at all. He just said he was losing his memory. Yeah, could be an evil entity. Could be something about this Oberon. Because Oberon being the name of some kind of fey being, traditionally, could be implying that that's the voice that the druids are hearing, and could be behind the whole darn thing. And then what's the deal with the voice on the telephone that wants him dead? And the note the scientist made. I didn't get that impression from it, but... Pretty cool if you killed if they learned your beliefs, if they learned you're the druid, yeah. Can't justify murder. This is, in this case... The thing is, it was not suggesting that he would actually get ratted out, or maybe he would. Not for the good of the village, yeah, I don't know. Don't trust any of these people, really.
Oh, aye. Or chuck you in that jail of theirs, which is just as much a death sentence, except slower. All I'm saying is that we messed up, with factories and machines and that. We should have stayed close to the soil. Simple as that. How is that treason? I'm not wicked, you know. I just have a purpose in life, that's all. Something better. But that Maisie... She were going to shout it from rooftops if I didn't pay to keep her and that vicar quiet. She had to go. And I had to do it somewhere vicar couldn't just sweep it under the rug. He can't go running off to the captain when it looks like he might have blood on his hands. Please, I know what I'm asking, but let it go, will you? Give us that letter back and we can both forget all about it. I'll make it worth your while, I promise.
Get out of Wyndham, and I won't have to get the soldiers involved. Make it worth my while. Should suppose you say maybe it was necessary. Well, I can't support what he did and his reasoning. Like, she was trying to blackmail him. Yeah, he's definitely a dodgy fellow himself. I do think his accusations of blackmail do seem somewhat believable. Because he did say he was keeping people safe in exchange for a contribution to the church, which could just be a thinly veiled thing. His story's getting a little bit more convincing now. On the other hand, I don't accept for 1 second that those soldiers are any kind of authority. They're just the guys with the big stick who have, decided to take over. I don't feel like they've got any kind of grounds to be respected whatsoever. And I do not like or trust them any more than I do this guy. So I'm not inclined to report him to them. It's just like, what, handing one murder over to a bunch of other nut jobs. It's not really sensible at all. So I can't support him. I'm not... I think get the hell out of town is probably the only thing I can really say. Because, I don't think any of the others really work. I'm not taking a bribe off of him, no. Not going to report it. Get the hell out, I think, yeah.
What? And leave the village without a shop? I don't just run this place, you know. I find the supplies it depends on. Wyndham will starve. You can't make me leave.
Somehow, I don't think you're bringing food in. There's a bakery next door that seems to be producing food. I don't know. I mean, he's not a priest, so that's a start. Yes, I'd say he is worse, but it's not like there's any better options. Like Captain Sims seems to be even worse than he is, because he maybe killed one person. Captain Sims seems to be carting off people at the drop of a hat and dumping them into either a prison, which may or may not be something far worse than a prison. There's been little hints around that it is far worse, so yeah. Bugger off and join the Druids, yeah. It's not exactly the most... Not much of a punishment, but on the other hand... not fair to the village suffer your mistake. If you won't leave, I'll have to report this. Not doing that. I'm going to stick with Blunt.
You're a heartless one, aren't you?
No, not really.
You don't leave me any choice. All right. I'll go the first minute I can leave without making those protocol Gauleiters suspicious.
Yeah. I think that's probably the best play. Unsurprisingly, he will no longer talk to me. That's why I wanted to make sure I got everything he had that was worthwhile first. So... one's resolved. So, what we've got on June's errands. Visit the boathouse, plant flowers beneath the nearby ruins. Okay, let's... I don't think I need that either right now, but with that. Yeah, let's have a look at that. June's errands. We'll go to the visit the boathouse, I think, next. Druids be better. We don't know anything about the Druids. Don't know how that situation's going to be resolving and so on and so forth, but... Yeah, I don't think I'm going to side with Druids. I'm definitely not siding with the army guides. I'm definitely not going to side with the outlaws if I need help. Or if there is a side to be chosen. I don't know how this is going to pan out yet, but yeah, so far I haven't found an option that I'm happy to go with. may end up just being a lone wolf drifting through at this rate. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, I'm going to run downstairs and grab another drink. So, 2 minutes or so. Can't be long. If you want to run to the bathroom or something, this is a good opportunity, and we'll dive back in and go and investigate June's errands and stuff, because she appeared to have been whacked by the soldiers. There's another example why the soldiers are really awful. Woman who runs the tea shop knew stuff about what was going on before and decided to keep her mouth shut and pretend she knew nothing, keep her head down. But apparently they somehow found out that she knew stuff and killed her and boarded up her house and stuff. Yeah. Meanwhile, stealing her chest of belongings and trying to keep the whole thing quiet, the soldiers. So yeah, not good group. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to go and grab a quick drink. Won't be a minute. Yeah, be right back. How are we doing? Anyone in a group living through an apocalyptic disaster, still in the danger of the bad guys because they survive otherwise? I don't know. Like, groups of people could get together and work together and not be horrific to survive. And, you know, people can live out in the woods and survive and hunt and things like that. You know, kind of what was done for a very long time by humanity. Not an automatic need to be horrific homicidal maniacs. Some will be, some won't. Maybe you have to defend yourself from those who are, which is arguably questionable at times, but no, I don't think it's unavoidable to be horrific. I think you can be generally all right.
If you or any of your friends or family show signs of corruption,
I suppose what you consider to be a degree of good or bad, but there's a lot of ambiguity here. Sometimes I feel like when I'm playing games and they try and make things ambiguous like that, it ends up being like forced ambiguity in a way that's really frustrating and annoying. Oh, the cow pasture, that's nice. Little details. But in this case, it feels a bit more natural. So, right, what did we have? Little tea room. Visit the boathouse, and then plant flowers beneath nearby ruins. She had some errands, she knew some stuff, apparently. Not really the bit of the boathouse that I needed to visit, I don't suppose, but... and was burying her memories, I seem to recall. There we go. Some doctor, that was it. I have to bury you. I'm sorry, price of knowing you is knowing too much. Told me things about this place protocol would kill me for, so I can't be that person anymore, yeah. That was protocol's plan. Protocol killing her and saying they'd taken her to prison. Didn't. They actually... he actually had her killed in there. Okay. I'm trying to find out what she may have known and why she may have been killed. Yeah. It doesn't assume that everybody's horrific, just that there are bad people out there. You know. Decent people would still need to defend themselves from horrific things. Well, usually it's way more than that. Makeshift grenade and rifle ammo. Like the makeshift grenade, but I don't have... it's kind of frustrating lack of inventory space in this game. Oh, there's a note there that I walked past. This is just miscellaneous. Scribble notes, indecipherable shorthand. Months of quarantine, eerie glow over plant brighter. Local boatman reluctant to get closer. Won't talk. Military guarding gate to woods. Nothing out of there anyway. False lead. Protocol expecting second convoy. Investigate. May become useful later. Degree of nastiness.
Keep the peace, Sibby.
Yeah. I don't know.
Shithole of a village much longer. Do as you're told, right?
Then the fact says keep out. Extra tea. Doesn't look like I can get in there anyway. We've got plants and flowers by the ruins nearby the boathouse. I mean...
I hope I get on the foraging party again this week. Anything to get me out of this miserable dump for a couple of days.
Yeah. Ooh, hello. Protocol secrets in June's diary. Protocol workshop added to the map. So, protocol secrets. I'm burying this so that whoever digs it up might dig up the truth too, because it's too dangerous for me to know this anymore. Here's what I know of the protocol. We shouldn't be alive. Whatever disaster happened here, the protocol should have buried us all along with it. They told us there was more to the atom plant than they told us. They meddled with the Earth and understood an out. There was a safe room for only the most important Bard employees to flee to if the protocol was enacted. Don't know who those people were, but after all these years, I don't know if anyone is still there. But I know where it is. Below is a map scribbled to a bunker in Skithermore. Interesting. Okay. So this gives some more credence to the idea that the voice that the druids are hearing might have something to do with this Oberon and be more going on at the plant than we understood, which we kind of knew anyway because it was kind of hinted at with the whole premise of the game. But when I met Francis, he was just after he got his promotion. He was an assistant technician in the lab that was making the robots. I had no idea these buggers existed at the time, of course. Scientists weren't really supposed to mix with us lot in the village. He told me an awful lot more than he should have. The year we shared together, he started to learn things. Working under that Garrow woman. We heard that name somewhere before as well, in her lab. They troubled him, so I listened. I'm not sure where he was when it happened, in his lab most likely. I just hope it was quick for him, for all of them. Us in the village weren't so lucky. Should probably regret having out to do with him and his government secrets, but do I hell. Okay. Dr. Garrow, there we go. Heard a report that Scientist Garrow was captured and carted off to the protocol camp in Skithermore. Seems like the location of the prison they keep threatening us with. Tread carefully, they've been on high alert ever since she showed up in town. Might be best to lay low until things calm down. Okay. Catch you later, Wayne. Have a good one. Yeah. Right. Okay.
How many steps it takes to get from the lake edge to the top of the village? I'm going mad.
Seems something to investigate the bakery. Okay. This one. Right. Let's go and have a look at the bakery and see what's happening in the bakery as well. Now, what we're down here, let's see what else it might be on this side as well. Oh, we had a look in here, didn't we? A load of bread and stuff, but nothing particularly exciting.
Leave tomorrow if we could.
Poison and a nail bomb. Interesting. Yeah, I think the restrictive inventory is maybe a little too restrictive. You could have or find and acquire and craft maybe backpacks and carry a bit more stuff like that. So I feel like this is just a little too restrictive. Again, limitations on the game are lots of cool ideas, but maybe just a little bit too limited, maybe not quite enough resources to throw at it on the part of the devs. Yeah, that's the way it goes, isn't it? So, I don't know what this is. I'm going to save quickly. Did that actually do it? It has now. Just in case I shouldn't be here. Mill grounds, okay. So this is okay. It's sealed up, apparently. For your own safety, do not leave Wyndham defense position. Terrible dangers around the village. Army can't protect you if you travel in uncontrolled areas. For your own sake, for the sake of your friends and families, stay within defensive perimeter. Do not follow the corrupted into the woods. Yes, this corruption thing that I'm also somewhat curious about. Is this just basically propaganda? Or is there actually something to it?
I miss seeing John Mills at pictures. He's right dreamy.
Voice and appearance not aligning there. Considering there's tons and tons and tons of stuff to acquire, find and pick up. Carry limits and stuff are a tiny little bit out of line. Or out of sync is probably more I'm thinking. And I suspect most of these houses are boarded up for the same reason they are in like Fallout 4 and stuff. Yeah, the more interiors you have to create and render, the more time it takes and the more resources it takes to run the game. More system resources. On the part of the end user. Window garage, okay. Got a name? No. Scrap. Sophisticate, lots of scrap. Bandage. Small scrap. Bakery bedroom key. Don't mind if I do. Peter Tankard. Call him a monster. I've been thinking about what you said. Your words were vicious, but I won't return the favour. Instead, I'm writing to beg for your compassion. My poor Philip is in itself. It's true, but he's no danger to anyone. Don't know how the illness looks. I know how the illness looks, but to call him a monster to claim he attacked you, I won't believe it. He's been nothing but a loving husband to me. Don't listen to protocol and their poison. Please don't tell anyone about Philip. You know what they would do to him in the bakery. So if some husband is ill, maybe this corruption is a thing then. And it's not just some crap that protocol have come up with to try and, control people. Hang on, what we got here?
Hands away from any weapons, you. One more civvy gives me cheek and I'll top the bastard. Orders deployed.
These look like they're selling stuff, but I can't talk to them, so. Yeah, I think you might be Overestimating the scenario a little bit there. We haven't been into the pub yet. I would like to see if I can sneak into the back of the... Oh, that key I got was back room of the bakery, wasn't it? So let's see if we can get in there. Yeah, we're going to have a look at that note, weren't we? Key items. Garage marked.
Addressing civilian. Stand back, citizen.
Bloody robot. No belong to the interchange when I woke up. Scottish frantic. Interchange, secrets inside the interchange. Don't forget the interchange. Keycard to lift quantity lock. Modified keycard should open interchange. Find truth is under Windscale Plant. The way there is through the interchange. Truth must get out. Find someone to help to escape. People help you to bring them the secrets. And that's basically don't go outside because there's outlaws outside. Yeah, nothing about any corruptive force. Well, if you said something like that, that was relevant, it should have been saved as a note related to Bunker, but... yeah, something about the secrets of Windscale being in the interchange. We've got Oberon's secret. Yeah, I haven't got anything. Yeah, he thought he was changing in some way. It's pretty vague, though. I thought I had a key for that. Now, how's the key to the back room? Okay. Okay. So she's still standing there. Somebody else hanging around. It has just saved, so I can reload if need be. Well, that's creepy. Still not trespassing, allegedly, yet. Think I would be. Paint drafts, so they keep it in the living room. Begs the question, why would they be sleeping in the living room? Where's the bedroom? Okay. Back door key, so I can get in and out the back door if I need to. Ooh. Yeah, he thought something was going on with his memory and stuff. I don't know. We'll find out what's going on eventually, either way. Ooh! Sorry, buddy.
Philip, what have you done, you monster?
You asked for this.
What? Your crazy monster husband attacked me when I snuck in there. Well, that's problematic, isn't it? I do plan to talk to her before I go upstairs this time, I think.
Get out! Get out!
Okay. I think she might have turned hostile because I just butchered her husband. We found a note before saying someone accused her husband of being a monster, and she denied it and asked that person to show him some kindness, despite whatever was afflicting him. What was it? Bakery, there we go. Call him a monster, there you go. It's not himself, but he's no danger to anyone, and blah blah blah. So the guy just attacked me on sight, so I thought her reaction might have been a little bit more moderate than that.
Did you want something?
I heard your husband was ill. Well, let's try and trade with her first, see if she's got anything. No. She doesn't have anything I want. I don't suppose I have anything she wants either. I heard your husband was ill. What happened to him?
You know that he's... Doesn't really matter how you know, does it? Look, I'll talk, but only to show you I'm doing nothing wrong. You have to keep quiet about this, please. Me husband, Philip, he went off exploring with one of his pals. Bloody fools, the pair of them. He said they were poking around in an old bunker and walked into a cloud of funny glowing spores or something. And he told me he started hearing voices. He says the voices hurt him. Whatever it was, it made him awful ill. He's not getting any better. Just a bit worse every day.
So did you hear that? Where is he now? Don't you worry about soldiers finding out. Do you know where that bunker is? Do you know where the bunker is?
Not exactly. I just know he called it the interchange. Oh, and he said something about the substation behind the pub, though that's off limits to us. The soldiers will spring you up for anything these days, and my husband was exploring where they don't like you to explore. That captain of the protocol, he says what the boffins buried here plays merry hell with people's minds. Turns them into something not human. Not that any of that happened to my Philip. He's ill, that's all. I just know what the soldiers would do if they found him. You know, we've had one mite of luck. Came by a special tonic, which does something to settle the voices in his head and keep the infection down. At least, while we can get it, it does. But look, what's your interest in all this?
Interested in this tonic? Shouldn't let the soldiers know. None of my business. I'm interested in this tonic.
I'm sorry, but I don't have any of the tonic left. I know where you can get some, though. There's a lady, calls herself Mother Jago, out in Casterfell Woods. Brews the tonic to her own recipe. She lives out by the old mine. I can mark on the map where to find her. And
Okay.
I hate to ask, but could I trouble you to get us some of the tonic? Just a single bottle. We're almost run out.
Yes, can't promise. If he's infected, it should be reported. Yeah, I'll do that for you.
Bless you, thank you. Bye now.
Well, I substantially less regret my previous decision. I regret the way I barged in, but... oh, look after the bakery. Iris, of course, I can look after the bakery for a spell. I'll bring some broth over for you, fella, too. Hearty meal's best medicine. Come by the garage in the morning and collect the keys from you. I won't dare ask what you have to do in Casterfell. Just make sure the soldiers don't spot you. That's why she's sleeping in here, because her husband's actually not as safe as she's making out. So that'll be the corrupting influence you were talking about, Envy. So,
Addressing civilian. Stand back, citizen.
a bot's getting on my proverbials. There's a substation behind the pub somewhere that we're not allowed into, huh? Welcome, food for hard-working villagers only. Monday to Wednesday, mussels and chips. Thursday, Friday, potatoes and veg. Saturday, Yorkshire hot pot surprise. And Sunday, roast potatoes and gravy. Basic, but it's food. Also, there's a whole lake down there. It looks to be a decent size, possibly sea. I'm not quite sure if it's an inlet or a lake. In either case, it'll be a reliable, well, a source of food. Source of food. So, that looks like the entrance to the village from the interchange. And there's the soldier, and they don't want you going in there. I mean, if you could hide the bodies, that would be a useful feature in this game that is not there. As then I bonk my guy on the head and also knock people out, not kill them. Would also be a good feature. And bonk that guy on the head and drag him off, and then I could get access to the bunker that way. Interesting. So, Baker's husband explored the substation and got infected in the interchange, so I've got to keep an eye on that. Mother Jago brews a special tonic. We also heard about her from somebody else as well. Iris wants a bottle of her tonic. Okay. Kind of the key items thing marking up is also kind of annoying. It's interchange substation. Yep, that's it. Casterfell Woods. I'm getting out that way to Casterfell Woods. Well, I don't think I know of another way to get there. Well, maybe I do, actually. We'll see what happens in a bit. Oh, he's got a foul as well, hasn't he? Muscles. Never been my thing, to be honest.
Leave tomorrow if we could.
Brindle's head. Go in the beer cellar. Don't know if I'm allowed, but I can.
Onwards, onwards, mustn't grumble.
Well, I feel like for a village pub in Lakes, the furniture's not quite right. It's a bit too much in the way of furniture from somebody's house and not enough in the way of pub furniture. This is right. This is not implausible. Close. I don't know. This is definitely spot on. kitchen, okay. Where's pisser, mate? Where's the pisser? Back there behind the bar, I wouldn't think. Alf! Won't be in here neither. Am I going to find out they've forgotten to include toilets in the pub? Ah, snooker rooms and games rooms and stuff upstairs.
Do as you're told, right?
Oh, shut up. I like the pool tables maybe a little bit. Well, I don't know. It's a bit too small, but I'm not so sure about that. Ah, I see. Toilets upstairs. Captain Condor, Mystery on the Moon. In the year 3000 AD, Captain Condor is involved in a fight to overcome the evil dictator of the whole solar system. After defeating the dastardly dictator, Condor becomes a member of the newly formed Special Space Patrol. Free rationing rules until the state of emergency lifted. Yeah, that's not the worst thing ever. Mind you, if they're going on their fish, wouldn't be such a necessity. Okay. They have included credible toilets. They are definitely believable toilets. Location's a bit odd, but still. Upstairs and hard to find must be Weatherspoons. Yeah, exactly. I would have expected them to be on the ground floor somewhere and not upstairs. Although it does seem to sort of back into the side of a hill, so because that's ground level outside, just up some steps. So they're only kind of partially upstairs, so it's maybe a little bit more reasonable in this particular structure. That floor is way too clean. Like, pale coloured. It looks like it's been scrubbed daily. Mopped, I could believe, but scrubbed? Also, there is a kind of dirt and crap around. So, yeah, the colour's not quite right. I once worked in a pub with a slate floor, or at least had a slate floor in front of the bar, basically. And then the rest of it would have been carpeted. But,
Beer at the pub tastes like sheep dip. Better than nothing, mind.
yeah, not enough voices. But yeah, slate should be darker in colour. Anyway, what we got on draft then? Windscale, okay, dry apple cider. That one's run out. Canesters. And the old bridge. Can't read that first word, but something about creamy dark. That'd probably be the one I'd go for, the old bridge. Cheers. Rebellion. They got the developer's name on the till. No, bust. Windscale plant on fire. Well, I haven't picked anything up, so if I do get into trouble for going in here, which I have not done yet. Reverend got his hands on a battery. Hello, what? I need one of those. Hi, today Reverend got his hands on one of those atom batteries somehow. Says he's a collector. Just made me think, guess we need something with more of a kick. Must be... Well, the only place I could think it could be is in that chest of his, which I couldn't find a key for. Labelled Reverend's chest or something. I'm a little surprised he's okay with me just walking into the beer cellar, though. Hello, secret tunnel? I'll have a look at that in a minute. All places to the gents, yeah. Well, they have to have some toilets that are accessible for disabled customers, which is a legal requirement, but... Weatherspoons are weird, but that's because Weatherspoons buildings were always something else first and then converted to pubs. Well, a lot of pubs have carpet in there. In the case of the place that I worked in, it was literally like, well, the fireplace wasn't in there, but being like this stretch in front of the bar here, you follow it around, was, yeah, slate floor, and then the rest of it was carpeted. And to be fair, it wasn't that gross. The floor got cleaned every day, they got hoovered every day, and it got all of the furniture stripped out and professionally deep cleaned at least once a year. In that place. Other places maybe not so much, but that place did. Anyway, let's go and talk to Elf.
How do? Not often we're seeing new faces here. My name's Alf Buckshaw. Welcome to what's likely the last pub in Cumberland, such as it is. Now, what can I do for you?
Alf Buckshaw. Wasn't that first guy we met when we came out of the bunker called Nat Buckshaw? And he sounded an awful lot like this guy, so I'm thinking, and looked a lot like him as well. I'm wondering if it was his brother. What are you offering? Wandering around, get my bearings, could do with a drink if you have one. What are you offering?
Fountains of beer, dancing girls, and the finest cuisine in the land.
Well, I kind of believe a bit of that.
Beer. And I found a pickled onion in a jar in the back of the cupboard. Seriously, mind, I can get me hands on things. Some pretty hard to find things at that. And feeling that...
So many jokes, so little time.
No gossip, mind you. Get locked up for gossip these days.
Do the drink after certain supplies, any barred equipment. How did the village get to be like this? How did the village get to be like this?
Well, after it all went to cock and we got quarantined, London started sending in soldiers.
Yeah, exactly.
To start with, folk were happy to see him. But after a while, it turned out there was bugger all they could do to help. When they found out they weren't being let back through the wall again, well, it got nasty. Plenty around here, I reckon.
Sent them in and wouldn't let them back out again.
Like if the Nazis had invaded after all. Of course, you didn't hear that from me, all right?
Yeah, it's probably not a million miles off. I don't know what it was that caused the quarantine. Soldiers were trapped too?
Aye, they were. The captain weren't right happy about it neither.
No.
Now he calls it his duty to enforce the quarantine protocol. And it's pretty nasty about how he goes about it.
We were sent him to do it and then refused to let back out.
Has their own name. But I reckon he secretly wants to get out of here, same as us. And he'll push us down if it gives him a leg up. Anyhow, I shouldn't be gossiping about this.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
You let me know if there's aught else I can help you with.
How's it going, Gray? Could do the drinks and supplies. Certain supplies?
I suppose I might be able to help a friendly traveller out. What sort of gear did you have in mind?
Help me survive, heavy weaponry, specialised tools. Heavy
I
weaponry?
bet you could. But you wouldn't find anything like that in Wyndham. But there's a ruined mill out on Skethermore. There's a fella up there, more often than not, and he might have what you're looking for. Fair warning, though. Out in Skethermore, soldiers don't care who or what you are. They'll shoot before they ask.
So in the village they don't shoot on sight. Up there they probably do. Okay, that's good to know. Any barred equipment?
Keep your bloody voice down. Nothing brings the soldiers down on you faster than talking about that. Mayhap I heard rumours of it, but I can't see it out more than that.
My life may depend on that. Be worth a favour. Big one, just help me out. Start talking to tell the soldiers some story that'll have them turn this place to pieces. I'll be willing to offer him a favour.
A favour, eh? Well, aye. Maybe that might be what I need right now. All right, let's talk. One of them scientists, in particular, used to come to drink in here. Before it all went arse upwards, that is. He liked his ale, that fella, and ale made him chatty. He told me he worked in something called the interchange. Never said quite where it were, but he used to stagger off towards the substation round the back of here. So that might be worth a deco.
We should see if I can get any more information.
Well, he said he worked on some gadget with that Dr. Garrow, who were a big noise over at the site. He called it a signal redirector. Top secret. Only a few of them made at the doctor's request. I've no idea what they were for. You could do worse than talk to Nora. She were there at the time, and she has a good brain, has Nora. She hides out in her barn on Skethermore. I'll mark it for you.
Okay, I suppose people are going to talk to.
Plenty of that from me, all right? Quiet as the grave, mate.
Appreciate you helping me, and you won't go telling anyone about this conversation either, will you?
Of course not. Like I said, quiet as the grave. Now, about that favour. I need to collect a few messages. Not important, you understand, but I can't stick me nose out of the door without the soldiers taking an interest. You, they'll let walk out of the village, so I need you to go to Skethermore for us.
Is this going to be dangerous? Well, the secrecy, what they're for. Going to help the village all. Well, what
now
they're for.
Interesting. Just need a mite of discretion in the gathering, if you follow me. There's something in it for you and all. Not asking you to do out for note. I need a message collecting from Nora. Careful with her. She's not fond of strangers. But it'll be all right if you see I sent you. The other note is with a fella who skulks all over Skethermore. But we have a meeting place. I'll mark it on your map.
I'll give you the mark it on your map is very, very Fallout. But I see some of the comparisons, but the tone is so fundamentally different in this game that I just don't think it lines up to my mind. Okay, so we've got to trade. Booze, food, and some tea. Nothing particularly good then.
See you around.
Okay, so a whole bunch of information there about Skethermore mostly. Upstairs for protocol troops only. Northern Ale appears to have sold out. And that's the rest of the booze. So, we've got 2 directions to go. Trade at the feed mill. Nora also in Skethermore. I reckon Nora also in Skethermore. Atomfall Woods. Apparently there's batteries at the dam. In Atomfall Woods. Batteries further through the sewer. Batteries maybe in the castle in there. Might be a couple in there. Okay. Want to go and investigate the druids. Mother Jago brews a special tonic. This is from Margarine. Find out what happened to our comrades who were trapped here 5 years ago. Last signal originated in Atomfall Woods. Okay. There's a carefully sketched map of a storm drain entrance in Saturndale. Okay. And that also sent it over to...
Beer at the pub tastes like sheep dip. Better than nothing, mind.
I've got here. Protocol camps in Skethermore off limits. Told that while they can wander around Wyndham Village in freedom, protocol camps and facilities in Skethermore off limits to anyone without permission. They're likely to shoot on sight. Okay. So there's a lot. I don't really know which way to go first, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not sure about arse backwards or arse up, really, as a context, to be honest, there. I heard of arse over tit, or tits up. Not generally arse up. No drink? Well, not really much point, I don't suppose. Well, actually, maybe there is. I'm kind of curious what will happen if I have a drink now. Because drinking tea gets my health back. I'm not drinking beer in the pub, will they? Assuming I can. I'm now curious.
Welcome back.
Do a drink if you have one.
I think we can manage that. Bet you weren't expecting to find a place like Wyndham still ticking over after all what's gone on here, were you now?
Oh, can I have a chat? Bit of a shock, surprised everyone's still alive. Lucky soldier here to protect you all. Sorry you have to live like this, trapped here. Trapped in here.
Folk will get used to anything given time. Which isn't to say, it's not nice to see some new faces coming through here now and then. Reminds a fella just how strange this all really is. The captain likes strangers too. He treats them better than he does the rest of the village. Means he can do things us regular folk can't.
Okay, so I get more information out of him. That's cool. It was worth it. And he threw a bottle of whiskey at me. Mostly because my inventory's full. Dr. Garrow, sitting around. Why does the captain give me a free run? Any other new faces? Why does the captain give me a free run?
Special. It's just the captain's way of getting the measure of you. New faces remind him there's still an outside. Likely hopes you might know a way out of the quarantine zone. Me? Well, I know there isn't one. So I shan't be bothering you on that score.
Yeah, it sounds like the captain doesn't...
See you around.
Yeah, captain doesn't know a way out either, or he thinks the captain doesn't. Absence of better comparisons, yeah, possibly. Post-apocalyptic somewhat. Yeah, I mean, there are a few kind of tick boxes that are very broadly similar. You know, factions and somewhat apocalyptic event and nuclear-based thing and robots wandering around and things like that. I don't know I'll go quite so far as retrofuturism, but I see what you're getting out there. But yeah, the tone is so fundamentally different that it doesn't feel even particularly remotely similar. Thing is, things like the robots wandering around, the factions, these are all that stuff is just beats that you'll find in a lot of games in one way or another, or sci-fi or stuff like that. It all kind of ties together. Fallout's one of the bigger name ones, as you aptly point out, Gray, but just about every sci-fi game will hit a lot of those beats, mostly from the robots. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Well, yeah, I think it's a hell of a stretch, really. Milking before. I see where you're going, Steve. I think I'd say arse about face rather than arse backwards, but something like that. But even then, I probably wouldn't say that much. Just say like horrific or wrong or something. Yeah, today, Noel. Have a good one.
Welcome back.
So I can't get any more information out of him.
See you around.
Now, there was something else I wanted to ask him about. It was on the list of things I could talk about, but apparently I can't do that right now. That sucks. I was hoping I could work through the list of conversation options, but apparently not.
Citizens of Wyndham, acts of insubordination or disrespect against the soldiers protecting you here are, in essence, treasonous and will be treated as such. Please, don't make us hurt you.
Yeah, he's a bit nuts, that fella. Right. I'd kind of like... How are we doing for time? That time. I think we will maybe look at Casterfell Woods next time, or possibly Skethermore, I don't know which. I'd like to do a bit of trading and get rid of some of the stuff I have saved, stored. Not all of it, I don't think. So I think I'm going to make my way back and see if Molly's got anything to trade on the way out. I don't think... I think there's some guns and stuff I have tucked away in the interchange that...
Blanco, that wall is... Where am I supposed to...
Yeah, I think I have some stuff tucked in the interchange that I want to get out and just get rid of because I don't want to upgrade it. I know to upgrade weapons to a better tier, you need 2 versions of the lower tier. So there's 3 tiers. Pristine being the top one. I don't know what the middle one's called, but the basic one is the rusty versions of things that I currently have. So I would need 2 rusty ones to get to the middle tier and the appropriate skills, which I also don't have. So yeah, I need to hang on to certain things that I want to upgrade, but not the little one-shot stuff that I've currently got tucked away there. What I want to do... Going in there will be a problem. Opening the gate, not so much, apparently. Yeah. Somehow I don't buy that one.
State of this place. Leave tomorrow if we could.
Nice. Yeah, the determination to not let people leave is also kind of interesting. Did I save? I didn't, did I? Save now because I can back out of that if I need to. So, I seem to remember not being able to get through this way, that I probably won't be able to get through this way because I haven't powered it up. Yep, definitely the wrong game. Oops. However, I do want to check as to whether or not I can work around that by coming at it from this end. James Clark. There's a torch, not feeling so well, and a bandage. James, old friend, I need your help. I made a mistake, found a way into a secret bunker hidden behind the substation, but there's something in there. Glows blue, vivid, like no blue I've ever seen on God's earth, and it hurt me. Now I've been hearing voices, don't know what to do. Meet me outside the bakery tomorrow night, and I'll give Iris a slip, and we can go back to that bunker together. Maybe we'll find the cure before it gets any worse. Philip. Oh dear. Well, I might be one of Philip's friends. Oh, ah, ha, 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 ha. My leg's doing things. Yeah, there's the interchange door. So the question is... That's the only blue glow thing I can see. How could he possibly have gotten through that door? He's got nothing on him, let alone into the interchange. Don't suppose he will have done. In other good news, there's a pneumatic dispatch tube there, which is convenient. Submachine gun ammo. Interesting. First time I found that. Hard for life. Here's a pun. Rifle ammo. Pistol ammo.
Access denied. Unauthorized. Access granted. The interchange.
That does look like a vault door, I'll give you. This also sounds like he did get through that door somehow. No sign as to the how part yet, though. See that Atomic Heart. Yeah, Atomic Heart is a game I still would like to check out and play. It kind of fizzled out and disappeared quite quickly, that one, from what I recall. Also, the problem was it came out... that's not good. It came out. I would really like to find out where the nests are so I can destroy them. So this is problematic. I also can't see much. Yeah, Atomic Heart came out by the time Russia invaded Ukraine, didn't it? And unfortunately it seems rather likely. Fuck off! Tax revenue from the game would go in towards the... quite probably funding... funding Russia's war effort, which, you know, not something I really felt wanted to do when that game launched. Go Tom and Jerry about this to solve the problem. You're not show me where your bloody nest is. Really like to thin the herd a bit. Well, it seems to have died down now. Something. Okay. In reception, interesting. Medical. Spores that I can collect with the right skill. Interesting. Yeah, I've seen a few games that fall under that issue with dialogue translations. What was it? Chernobylite was one, and the Stalker games have some issues around their English language voiceover as well, from what I've heard. You're free of the voices. Yeah, I don't suppose it's possible entirely to avoid funding Russia, unfortunately, the way the world is at the moment, but you do what you can, don't you? So when you can make a conscious effort not to, it seems to be the done thing. Unless you're tangerine shit gibbon, anyway. 4th November 1957, 23 days since quarantine. Second day event showing growth now. Still unsure of its origin. There's a blue glow emanating from Store Alpha, but doors remain sealed. 179 days since quarantine. Emergency supplies low. Continuing to await rescue. Heard voices from Store Alpha. Impossible. Growth now present in many corners. Not pleasant, but palatable. I heard her voices chatter and murmur, but Helen's was amongst them. Isn't she dead? Isn't everyone dead? Her voice was so loud. It spoke of the spot where we used to swim. Our moon escapades. Oh, why? She wants to be free of the voices too. Location repeatedly circled on the map of Atomfall Woods. Cool. Used to swim or something. I don't know, that's a good idea, I don't know, but... Power supply report. Hydroelectric turbines at dams still providing suitable power levels across wider research sites seem proving impractical for the interchange to rely on this source of energy. Windscale and its fissile product generation is a self-contained system, so we must make upgrades to the interchange itself. Preliminary results of atomic battery project are promising, and it's proposed that we support the interchange of such power sources going forward. Power output exceeds expectations in quantity and stability and should alleviate strains that the processor and its data stores currently exerting on the facility. Dr. Gara and her team have compiled a full proposal of the upgrades to the data stores and suggest he takes the reins going forward. Okay. That's the Atomfall Woods exit. Don't suppose I can open that from the inside, which is probably a quarantine protocol type thing. Because there doesn't seem to be any sign of a... I mean, possibly in the central control room, maybe. There's a medical area. Don't think we're going to be able to get into either. Shut, no power, no. Not sure if it's on Game Pass. Same problem though if it is on Game Pass though, as you don't download it, they won't get credit for your purchase. But yeah, not surprised. Then again, I suppose you've already spent the money, but still, some of it will get, more of it will get funneled that direction if you spend the money. You know, if you download and stuff. If the war ends, or it's on like a low enough offer to where it's basically nothing, I might pick it up. but it would have to be very, very low. I'm kind of on the same boat with like Hogwarts Legacy. I wouldn't mind checking that out, but I'm not paying to put money in that bigoted bitch's pocket, so not anymore anyway. She's already got enough of my money. So yeah, definitely holding off on that until it's basically so cheap as to be worthless. Looks like stout. You are pretty much on the nose there, Gary, actually. On Black Heart, it's called. The Brewdog, which is another not perfect company either. So at least not that any such thing exists, of course, but... yeah, another company with issues. That's basically the same as what we saw before, I think. But it's not bad, this stuff, and holy footballs, maybe not. Yeah, we've got a blue triangle at the bottom with some kind of status effect that's hitting me. And I think that... actually, I don't think it hit my health, I don't know. But, oh. Yeah, I don't know what's happening down there, but we'll file that on maybe later. It's all fun and games till somebody's irradiated. Badge discipline. Yeah. Twice that's got me now. Same goes for as well, yeah. That one's harder to nice, so we are back here. Okay. I don't have any more batteries at the moment, so yeah. Israel's much harder to be aware of in some cases that your money's going towards. Not that it really helps with Russia either. You use electricity or gas, there's a fair chance some of your money's going to Russia. And you pay your taxes, there's a fair chance some of your money is going to end up supporting Israel, and that the government seems to be turning a deaf ear to all requests to stop sending them weapons. Mind you, ask a Tory to stop trying to make money. It's not going to happen off the back of other people suffering. More to the point, it's just not going to happen. Unfortunately. So, what's the best option here? Yeah. Then the reason I haven't checked out Hogwarts Legacy is because I don't want to put any money in J.K. Rowling's pocket. So I don't need that. I need that. Revolver I'll keep, the shotgun and the rifle I want out. Now, I don't think... that would do me good, wouldn't it? Yeah, let's use one of those. I don't think, he says, there's many people in town that I really want to be selling these weapons to. Oh, no worries, Emily. Basic decency shouldn't be that hard to come by. It all too often is, but you know. I'm the first to admit I'm not perfect on the front of getting everything right when it comes to all things trans-related and stuff, but I'm trying. I'm working on it. There you go. But how long waiting to sneak past that guy and needn't have bothered. So he's just got I can't remember what this guy's got on him. Not much, I don't think. We'll go and have a look.
Welcome back.
What do you got to trade? Alcohol I don't need, food and tea. Yeah, that was it. Didn't think you had anything worth trading.
See you around.
I'm pretty sure that was his brother that we saw up the mountain, though. Gotta admit, his brother was driven out of the village, he said. I'm trying to think where I'd want to go if I was driven out of the village. Slatendale's got outlaws in it. There's the druids in Casterfell Woods, and then there's soldiers in... What was the other place? Skidmore? Was it? Skethermore. So yeah, which would you want to be retreating to if you had to? I don't know, I think I'd probably take my chances with the druids. On balance. Yeah, she won't have anything, she's just got bakery products. Ain't too kind then, me. We do our best. More of a habit issue than anything else. Breaking habits does... well, it takes practice, and the practice doesn't come up often enough to be effective in my case. You know, that's kind of how practice works, isn't it? But I appreciate that, Emma. It's very kind of you. That's a really cool building. I like it.
Not sure I like the look of it.
This is a defense announcement. The substation is now off limits to all citizens and enlisted men. Speak to a protocol officer if you require access.
So only if you're an officer or above can you be accessing that substation. Basically because they're aware it's connected to the interchange, and which is a barred facility. I'm curious what that's there for.
Citizens of Wyndham, the woods are still off limits.
What's your
If
step?
you need to approach the woods for foraging,
Sure, there's plenty of traders in the other areas. Some of them might even be happy enough to buy some of the stuff off me, but we'll see.
responsible for your safety. The area you are entering is known to contain outlaws, lunatics, and monstrosities.
Outlaws, lunatics, and monstrosities, eh? The concept of monstrosities I understand. The outlaws, clear enough. It's the lunatics that I'm questioning. Yeah, part of the problem is she willfully turns her back on being better educated and just engages in some really fucking hate-filled and harmful rhetoric. And she's mostly just wrong.
Hello. again.
What's here? So chuck those in, because I don't really need those. That's worth having. That atomic battery would be worth having, actually. Get it. Need a single shot rifle. Single shot shotgun. That's progress. Right. Yeah, I'm kind of gonna get. It's got me partly along the way, hasn't it? Decisions. What else can I give up to get this battery that I'm happy to give up? Not much. I mean, the grenades I could. I don't think she's that interested in the grenades. I'd like... I don't want to give away all the grenades, to be honest. I can make Molotovs, but I don't know if they'll be good against groups of people, maybe, but not so great against the robots. If I come against them, I'd like to hang on to some grenades for that. So I don't really want to get rid of all of that. There's no point in going with bandages, because she's got loads of those and she doesn't want them. I'll have to go up some rifle ammo, I think, try and get me over the line.
Good. Oh, now that's nice. Oh, don't see many of those. Very good. Oh, now that's nice.
Yeah. So that's cool. Have I got anything else I'd be happy to sell? Not really. So I think I'll leave that there.
Want to trade again? You know where to find me.
Now
Perhaps I can
about...
throw in a bit of gossip too.
Yes, please, Molly.
That battery thingy I sold you. Quite fine, didn't it? Made by the Boffins, if I'm not mistaken. You know, I used to...
It's not going to be made by a dunce, is it?
I sold it a while back to someone in village. Let me think. Aye, it was the vicar I sold it to. Right keen to have it, he was. Said something about being a collector. Don't know why you'd collect that old stuff. I suppose he finds the glow nice to look at.
Yeah. I think he's up to something beyond the obvious. That vicar. Bartering system more trouble than it's worth. I think once I've got more traders, or I've discovered more traders, and I push further into the game, it'll become a bit more flexible. But I do quite like it as a system. I'm going to try and avoid those guys, I think.
Nice and slow now. Let's have no trouble.
Don't fuck with me, you Johnny Jim. You won't win that fight.
Let's take this nice and slow. Huh? Let's have no trouble.
Far enough away now, it's fine. Not really as effective as I wanted it to be, but hey. I avoid getting leeched. Makes more sense than bottle caps. It does. No, Calderon, have a good one. Oh, nearly that time. Well, I think I've got this one thing to do in mind, or one thing in mind to do, rather. And then that might be a sensible place to call it for the evening. So we'll be thinking about pushing on into new areas of the game, either the woods or the moor. And I don't know which to go for, to be honest. doesn't really matter, I don't think. Either are viable options. Decisions. And we've also got another, at least one other bunker in, over here in, there's the Outlaws Cave, which we could go through and see if there's anything cool in. Not really explored up here, but there's another bunker over here somewhere that I haven't checked out. And there's a couple of mines over on this side. One at the back here, somewhere, here. And there's one up here that we could check out as well next time. So I might do that, and then maybe head to the woods. Maybe. Trespassing thing as I come in here is interesting. Because who is there to object to my presence? Right now, nobody that I know of. So, we need batteries to power up each of these data centers in order to advance the story. I've acquired a battery. I'm going to stash it in here. It is slow-paced. It's a slow-paced, thinky type game. That's one data store that is switched on. Delta.
Quarantine has been lifted in this sector. Access granted to robotics facility.
Ooh. That'll be interesting. How do you need to get through there to get access to the room in...
Status report. Computation complete. Oberon scattering data. Garrow Cooper model. Fit succeeded with high statistical significance.
Okay, I'm none the wiser about hearing what that might be. Oberon is somewhere off in that way, and there's a lot of fungus coming from that direction. And there's trains and stuff down here. And that's the central exchange thing. Might be a bit too slow-paced for your taste, mate. That's fair enough. I mean, as previously mentioned, it is on Game Pass, so there is that as well. And if that's a factor or not. On the plus side, there are a lot of nasty leeches in that water, so yay! They're probably all zapped now. On the downside, if I step in that water, I'll also be zapped. Ah, interesting. Oh, hell no. There's a robot in there, and it's an angry one. So that's who doesn't like me being here. Question answered. I knew there was a storeroom down here as well that I wanted to find. There's a storeroom in each of these spaces. There's another way into robotics. I suppose I should have seen the fact that there were robots in there. Makes sense, this is probably where the barred robots came from. Training stimulants. What if I do? And crafting manual. What here? Bandage, first aid kit, pistol ammo. Take that for now. Windscales. Construction is nearly complete. Construction of Windscale facility is nearly complete, and it would appear that we have been largely successful in keeping the true objectives of the project classified. The fact that a small nuclear reactor has been constructed on site to meet the facility's power demands has helped sell the power plant lie, but we should not be complacent, especially given the uniquely sensitive nature of our endeavours. Perimeter security has been increased since our friends in Cheltenham picked up encoded chatter about the facility and its purpose from the other side of the curtain. Oh, Cheltenham, that must be GCHQ. Or what will go on to become. And apparently the Soviets were somewhat aware that a facility was being built at Windscale. When we were discussing it, they obviously didn't think it was just a power plant. So going through here gets me into the robotics area. Oh, train yards and robotics, okay. Tension quarter. Crane controls. Crane controls might get me into that area down there. It's probably where the person with access to the construction office was. So, crafting manual for guns skills, I believe. Oh, survival skills. So I've got gunsmith, deep pockets, crafting speed. So crafting speed in general. Carrying more supplies and crafting ammo. That's nice. Don't have enough for it right now. And oh my, gunsmith requires 7. Unlocks recipes to craft upgraded guns. So definitely going to save up for that one. I could take those. I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but I will for now. Blue pen bits in the map. Things I've discovered. So these bits are, I think. That's the rumoured location of robotics. If I went to Platendale, for example, you mean bits like this? They are marked locations, yeah. Because otherwise the map just starts off with like the buildings and the roads and stuff, but doesn't tell you what's in an area. And then as you get there, it tells you sort of a bit more about what each location actually is. So that's where Molly was. It's the interesting interchange. Wyndham Village. That's the bunker we started off in. And yeah, convoy wreckage, and don't know what this is, but I guess there will be something there. Maybe. Yeah, there's additional details added. If we have a look at Wyndham Village, the other place we've been, see we've got all the extra bits marked on here, like hotel, the boathouse, the village green and bandstand, protocol outpost, mill grounds, Wyndham garage. Interestingly, the pub is marked differently. Yeah, but it's details you've added to it, yeah. It's quite cool. So, yep, there's a robot moving around on there, and there is a security camera, or possibly a turret of some kind. I've also heard some Bioshock comparisons with this game, which I don't know if I agree or not with. I like this game and I didn't get on with Bioshock, so that would make me say no, but I honestly don't know at this point. Okay, so that also connects in there. Basically, everything's pointing in that same direction, more or less, isn't it? I mean, on different levels. Okay. Very cool. Yeah, Bioshock is pretty insane. I didn't get far enough into it really to kind of embrace, find out too much about stuff like that. But yeah, I kind of vaguely see. Again, it's the sci-fi tropes. It's hitting the same sort of sci-fi tropes, which is where also overlaps with Fallout. But yeah, I still think the tone is so substantially different and fundamentally different. The vibe and the feel. That the comparison is just unhelpful, I think, to Fallout at least. Bioshock, as I say, I've started the first game a couple of times, I just can't be getting on with it really. Anyway, next time. Next time. I do need to find somebody to trade with because I've got a bunch of stuff stored in here that is not going to do the job. Next time, we'll hit that last bunker that's in Satindale and maybe the other couple of locations there that we've missed. And sort of decide where to go. We've still got some more places like the robotics place to explore down here, which I could do. I'm a little apprehensive about that. I feel like I might be biting off more than I can chew if I get into it with one of those robots. On the other hand, I've got... Yeah, I feel like trying to go toe-to-toe with one of those robots at the minute is probably not the play. Especially not in a confined space. Maybe if I can like use cover and stuff, but... Yeah, or sneak past. One thing I haven't noticed, and I kind of get the impression is not a thing that this game could definitely benefit from, is binoculars. Yeah, I think Rebellion have created a cool new IP here with some really interesting ideas. And I'm enjoying it a lot. I think it's really, really cool. I think there's also kind of a lot of untapped potential to it, based on what I've seen so far. Like the accents, obviously, they're a bit at times. They need a wider selection of deeper pool, perhaps, of voice actors to draw from. But funds, I imagine, are somewhat limited. But yeah, apart from that, it's pretty cool. I like the pacing. I feel like it does feel a bit like all roads eventually lead to the same place. They kind of said there's different ways of doing things, different playthrough styles, and no two playthroughs will be the same. But I feel like the core story, ultimately, yeah, it might be a bit different, but not massively different. Like the breadth of it is not as big as it could be. I know some people have actually said the focused nature of it works well because the quests are unmarked and things like that, and there's no fast travel and stuff. They kind of like that it's a bit more focused. I think there's room to do more with it. There's untapped potential here for me. So I'd really like to see it do well and then have a potential sequel that could build on the ideas. But we'll see. I definitely think it's a really cool game so far. I'm enjoying it. I did see a whole bunch of people commenting on a review of the game, complaining about things like the... well, some were just being idiots, so yeah, screw them. But some were complaining about the like the lead system, stuff like that, saying they couldn't figure out what they were doing, where to go, didn't understand things, stuff like that. The system basically didn't hold their hands enough, so I think it was a bit too... They were perhaps... not so keen on the thinking your way through and figuring out what's going on and pinning those connections together. You know that meme where there's all the string on the board and the guys are just like... the crazy guy with the conspiracy theory. That kind of vibe is the way the quest structure works in a way. And yeah, I think it's a different take that I like a lot. Cheers, Tingy. Catch you soon. Yeah, Monday we're going to play Avowed, which should be good. Well, Monday, Tuesday we'll do Avowed, Wednesday Fallout, and back to Atomfall on Thursday. Oh, which feels, excuse me, like a really long time away. So I'm going to have to figure out something to do with my time in the meantime, aren't I? Yeah. Definitely looking forward to diving into this. I think this is a good pausing point because we've got a few things lined up to do, but no big questions hanging over my head. Like waiting till Thursday with that murder mystery unsolved, which was more or less solved, but still. I think waiting till Thursday would have left me going, what the hell am I doing, a bit much. And I think it'll be less of an issue here. But I think Slattendale will probably be the... not Slattendale's where we are. So yeah, maybe a bit more around the robotics facility and stuff, and see what happens there, and finish off Slattendale, and hopefully head to Casterfell Woods perhaps if after that. You kind of have to jump between places, so I will be coming back to Slattendale at some point. I'll go to Casterfell Woods, check out a bunch of stuff. Back to Wyndham Village again, up to Skithermore, and then back to Wyndham Village and Casterfell again, and all that stuff. So there's a lot of moving around. But yeah, it's I'm enjoying it. I did see some complaints about it not having a fast travel system in it, which is kind of a funny thing because the person talking about it was saying that as time goes on, they prefer, you know, to kind of be able to move along a little bit, and fast travel helps them with that, whereas I'm kind of getting more and more the other way. I like the kind of in-world travel where you actually have to walk from place to place, or Skyrim's the carriages between the towns. That's not such a bad thing, but beyond that sort of thing, not that I object to fast travel. And some games it definitely fits in better than others, but for a lot of games, I'm kind of enjoying the whole, you want to go somewhere, you got to get up and walk there kind of vibe. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens on getting some sleep in me. I'm not doing too badly, but, you know. I tend to be not early to bed, and the cat does like being early up. Speak of the devil, she's staring right at my feet at the moment. She's actually sort of behind where you are. Like somebody's just taken to lying on the floor recently, which may be because it's a bit cooler down there. But yes, she does like to get up very early. And, yeah. The balance between those two things, me being up late and her up early, is a challenge. Because, yeah, when she gets up, she wants me up to feed her. And whether or not I am the one that feeds her, it still means I get woken up. So, yeah, we'll manage. It's all good, isn't it? I'm slowly making progress, although it's gotten lighter in the mornings recently, which has been a bit of a struggle. We started getting used to the idea of having breakfast a bit later, and then it just suddenly got a bit lighter. And then, of course, the clocks are bloody changing tomorrow, aren't they? Tonight? Yeah, later tonight, isn't it? So that's going to throw a nice big spanner in the works, I'm sure. We'll see how it goes. We'll manage. Anyway, I will put my feet up, probably have another beer. Might watch something, ponder whether or not to download a different game or something. I've got a whole bunch of games installed, but it's figuring out what I actually want to play. That's kind of difficult at the minute. Got to obey the feline overlords. Yeah, pretty much. Well, she'll, like, first thing in the morning, she'll kind of climb up on the edge of the bed and then scratch a bit at my bedside table. Not like digging her claws in, just enough to make a bit of noise. Quite gently, but it's right next to my head. And after that, she'll like run up and down the headboard, or get onto my bedside table and start pushing stuff off it. She's stopped attacking her feet, which is good, mostly. Although the duvet is thick enough that it wasn't too much of an issue anyway. But she stopped doing that. But she'll do little things like that, just make a bit of noise and scratch at things and just wrestle things around and stuff like that until we get up. And she's told to sod off, and then 5 minutes later starts again. She wants feeding. But what can you do? Camp to camp, not location to location. Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, it does depend on the game for me, I think. And yeah, some games are definitely too big to walk everywhere. Like having horses in those, for example, like in Skyrim. Although horse controls notwithstanding being a bit of a nightmare, all well and good, but was there fast travel in Red Dead 2? I think there was, but I just didn't use it. With that, again, big wide open game, horse travel was more than enough to get you across the map. It took a while if you wanted to go from one side to the other on horseback, but that felt fine. It felt like it was part of the game world, and that was great. And if you wanted to, the other option was get to a train station, get on a train and go that way, and that worked as well. Skyrim to some extent has a similar sort of vibe. Like Fallout 76 especially, you couldn't do that without fast travel because of the nature of the gameplay, but and Fallout single player game, less direct location to location fast travel wouldn't bother me. I know it would a lot of players, but for me, if it wasn't there, I wouldn't miss it. If you had like some other way of travelling rapidly between places, like Stalker has very limited fast travel in it. I've heard some people complaining about that, but again, that just felt fine to me. I don't know. It is what it is. Anyway, folks, I need the bathroom, so probably about that time, innit? So thank you for hanging out. I hope you've been enjoying the new Assassin's Creed. How are you doing, Sash? You alright? You never used fast travel in Red Dead 2? No, I don't think I did either. I seem to remember it was a thing and maybe I did it once off stream. For one specific thing. I was like, I just need to do this thing quickly. And it wasn't a very interesting scenario, I think. But yeah, for most general gameplay, I was like, I'd just rather ride on horseback or take the train because it just works for the world. Yes. Anyway, I'm going to put my feet up now for a bit, and, well, I'm not actually, I'm going to go to the bathroom first, and then I'll put my feet up, and I'm going to investigate what the cat's doing, because she's rummaging around under things again. She's just being weird, okay, that's fine. They're loud, she fits right in. Yeah. Yeah, I've been struggling with Assassin's Creed for a while as well. I can't remember if I got that one, or I think I might have gone for a Black Horse, actually, but can't remember. It was a while ago. I did enjoy the game mostly, although it did have a few letdowns in it for me as well. Yeah, there's another game I need to go back and give another go to at some point. Valhalla. Anyway, thank you for hanging out tonight, folks. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'm very much enjoying Atomfall. It's an interesting game. Really a thinky game, and I'm enjoying it for that. And the slow pace is also kind of nice as well in some ways. It's not too stressful of a game in a lot of ways. I assume there'll be situations where that varies, but a lot of it's just kind of working through it, you know? I seem to recall where that horse might... I think I've just remembered where to get that horse actually now, so I may have picked that one up eventually. Because if I know where it was, I probably went after it. Probably. I don't know. Yeah, anyway, enjoying this. So, Monday, Tuesday, Avowed. Wednesday will be Fallout, and we'll be back to Atomfall on Thursday, which should be good. Video-wise, yeah, that's the bit I was thinking of. Build early in the week, and we'll see what else happens after that. There's a hotfix incoming for 76, so when we actually get some news on that, and or it arrives, I will be all over that, and letting you know, because there's definitely a couple of things that I do need to... sort of iron out some of the creases of, but yeah, that'd be cool. Valhalla's more interesting as a setting and theme to me, partly because Britain, partly because Vikings, than Odyssey. Like Greek stuff's never really been my bag, but I have heard it talked about quite fondly. Odyssey. Origins should have been really up my alley as well with the whole ancient Egyptian thing, and the environments, the locations and stuff was really, really cool. The gameplay and story itself, though, were so boring. Like, Valhalla kind of suffers from that to a degree, which kind of sucks. But Origins was worse. That was so boring, which is really disappointing because it really had the potential to be really awesome, and the setting was cool. It was a gorgeous sandbox of a world with really, really cool stuff in it. But the story that they shoehorned in there was not interesting at all. Anyway, it was 2 Assassin's Creed and the characters weren't relatable. It was just like, oh, this happened to this guy, by the way, and He's interested in taking his revenge, and it might tie into something else coincidentally and stuff. Yeah. Like I say, I haven't checked it out, but maybe someday. It's the one of those three that I haven't got, so maybe I will at some point. Got a bit addicted to what? Anyway, yeah, I need to go to the bathroom. I am, now that I've started thinking about it, I am absolutely dying. Yeah, played a different... Oh, you got 2 characters in Odyssey, have you? Oh, interesting. Interesting. I've always heard more people playing Cassandra anyway. Oh, go to the kitchen. Ah, okay. Maybe. I think I vaguely know what you mean, yeah. Does sound like an interesting chill, very chill game. Yeah, unless I'm completely thinking of something else. Anyway, right, I'm going to clear off. I'm going to the bathroom. So, yes, hope you're all having fun. Look after yourself, stay safe. Thank you for hanging out. Buttons and links and all that stuff down below. Do all the things, you know what I'm talking about. And I'll see you on Monday for some Magic Time fun with Avowed. We'll hit the other side of Shatterscarp, head out into the desert. Should be good. So, till then, I'll see you next time. Have a good couple of days, folks. See you later.
Yeah.